Well, China's ruling party, the Communist Party of China, or the CPC, is marking its 105th founding anniversary today.
Yeah, President Xi Jinping will be speaking at a gathering in Beijing, where he will also confer the party's highest honor, that is the July 1st medal.
And while the CPC has expanded its membership over the years, the growth rate has gradually slowed. State media reports that there were more than 101 million members as of last year. That's an increase of 1% from the year before.
Analysts say the party is entering a different phase 5 years after celebrating its centenary. Well, the anniversary is expected to reinforce the message that it remains central to China's future.
Rebecca Matteo joins us from outside the CPC Museum in Beijing this morning. Rebecca, so we understand you're at one of many sites across China marking this milestone for the ruling party. Tell us about the atmosphere where you are.
Right, it's still relatively quiet where I'm at because it's still quite early in the morning and people are just getting to work. But that said, we can expect people to turn up at this museum later during the day. Now, that museum that you're looking at behind me is one of the largest of its kind in China, with over 100,000 square meters of exhibition space, and that's roughly the size of about 14 football fields. Now, that museum behind opened in 2021 when the party was celebrating its 100th anniversary, and it tells stories of the party's history as well as China's development over the past century. So for its 105th anniversary, there will be 4 new exhibitions spanning from urban governance to, arts and culture. And, just 2 days ago, state and party leaders also attended a concert celebrating the party's anniversary. And, aside from all these activities in Beijing, which is the political center in China, elsewhere in Jiaxing, which is the eastern Zhejiang province, also has a major exhibition showcasing Chinese oil painting that will tell the stories of the party's history. And in fact, leading up to today's anniversary celebration, the state media has also been putting out articles as well about the party's history, featuring President Xi Jinping, not as the president, but as a member of the Communist Party of China, highlighting some of his remarks over the years and featuring other party members as well. Now, President Xi is the General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee. So for the celebration later, we can expect the state media to broadcast it live across the country.
Rebecca, and the president is expected to speak as well this morning. What can we expect from today's address?
Right, so the event list will start at 10 a.m. President Xi Jinping will be giving a speech, and he's expected to highlight the party's achievements as well as the party's direction as China enters its next stage of development. Now, as you've mentioned earlier, he will also be giving out the July 1st medal, the party's highest honor, and it will be given out to the outstanding party members who have contributed to the party and the country. This award, however, is rather new. It was first introduced in 2017 and first given out to some 29 party members in 2021. Then the party was celebrating its 100th anniversary. Now, that occasion was a rather grand one. We saw a grand ceremony at the Tiananmen Square, but for its 105th anniversary, we will be expecting a more modest celebration. Still, analysts are saying that this anniversary comes at a critical juncture for the party as it looks to reinforce its leadership amid a slowing economy and greater emphasis on technological self-reliance, all amid a more complex geopolitical environment. So I spoke to some analysts just to find out what all this could mean for the party's direction ahead. Let's take a closer look.
5 years ago at Beijing's Tiananmen Square, Chinese President Xi Jinping used the party's 100th anniversary celebrations to declare that China had achieved its first centenary goal, building a moderately prosperous society after eradicating absolute poverty. He also hailed the party's role in national rejuvenation and warned that no foreign force could bully the Chinese people. 5 years later, analysts say the party is governing in a more complex environment. Beyond celebrating past achievements, they say the focus is also on how the party intends to lead China through its next stage of development, a journey President Xi recently described during an inspection tour in Shandong as a new long march.
The party founded this state, but in today's high-quality development with the Chinese modernization, so we need the self-reform, we need the party building to make sure the high-quality development to the Chinese modernization can still be led by the Communist Party of China.
Part of that next stage begins with China's new 15th five-year plan, placing innovation, high-quality growth, and technological self-reliance at the center of the country's development strategy. All this amid a challenging external environment. But analysts say achieving those ambitions isn't just about policies, it's also about strengthening the party itself.
Party building means, first, you need disciplines, you need culture, and also you need the capacity building of the members of the Communist Party, and particularly for the high-ranking officials.
Observers say that emphasis on party building has gone hand in hand with President Xi's anti-corruption campaign. The military has remained a key focus.
So how to continuously improve the party's governance and how to answer to the demand from the public, especially in a new era of aging population, rising youth unemployment, and also suppressing personal income. That would be the number one headache for the ruling party. And also the fight against corruption is also a difficult task.
The anniversary comes a year before the next party congress, where a new leadership lineup will be appointed for a 5-year term.
So we'll be closely watching the speech that President Xi will be giving to mark the anniversary, and we'll bring you the latest later.
Okay, looking forward to the coverage, Rebecca. Thank you very much, Rebecca Matteo in Beijing for us.